Important historical events in the early medieval India. In North India, the collapse of Harsha's empire gave rise to many stable states. Kashmir Valley had for the first time a local state system. In Bengal, the Pala dynasty ruled from 760 AD to 1142 AD. They were Buddhists and spread it to other parts of the world. Nalanda became world-famous university and center of education. Students from other Asian countries came to study. Deccan and the South. The Pallavas ruled in Kanchi region, but they faced big challenge from non-agricultural hill tribes called Kalabhras. The evidence available suggests that they were against Brahmanical institutions and encouraged Buddhism and Jainism. They demolished the rule of Cholas and Pandyas of Sangam age. They emerged as prominent rulers between 3rd and mid-6th century AD in Kanchi region. During this period, 3 major kingdoms ruled in India. Chalukyas of Badami, Pallavas at Kanchipuram, Pandyas of Madurai. In 6th century BC, Pallavas appeared in the scene and defeated these rulers including Kadamba. Pulikeshi II of Pallavas was a contemporary of Harsha and the most famous Chalukya king. He held the advancing Arabs in check. In the early 8th century, many fleeing Arabs were given asylum by Chalukyas. Their descendants are said to be the Parsis. But by the end of 10th century, Chalukyas were reduced to a feudatory status. The Cholas. The Cholas ruled in Tamil Nadu since 1st century AD. In the 9th century, Vijayalaya conquered Tanjore and declared himself the ruler of an independent state. Rajaraja began attacking the alliance between Kerala under the Cheras, Ceylon and the Pandyas in order to break their monopoly of western trade. By the 3rd quarter of 12th century, the Chalukya Empire had come to an end. The factions within the Chalukyas became free and subsequently were known as Yadavas in Devagiri, Kakatiyas of Warangal and Hoysalas of Dwarasamudra. The weakened Chola kingdom ultimately succumbed to an attack by Hoysalas from the west and Pandyas from the south in 13th century. Economy in medieval India. The rulers gained ideological support for their political power from the Brahmanas. Many canals, lakes, tanks and wells were built. Brahmins were given prominence and land grants. But the land grant system paved the way for feudal developments in India. Peasants were reduced to the status of tenants at will. They also had to undergo imposition of forced labor and increased taxes. The resulting growth of closed village economy caused shrinkage of trade and decline of urban centers. Available evidence indicate wide variety of crops and cereals were grown including wheat, barley, textiles, etc. Medieval India was known for rock-cut architecture during 550 to 800 AD. The principal Pallava monuments are located at Kanchi, their capital, and Mahamallapuram, its seaport. Pulikeshi II. Pulikeshi II, between 610 and 642 AD, is the most famous ruler of Chalukya dynasty. In his reign, the Chalukyas of Badami saw their kingdom extend over most of the Deccan. In Aihole in Karnataka, one can see Sanskrit inscription which is supposed to be a tribute on Pulikeshi II. It is still a matter of dispute as to whether Pulikeshi II built the magnificent cave temples dedicated to Lord Shiva at Elephanta, Jogeshwari, Mahamandapeshwar and Kanheri. Ajanta and Ellora caves are a mixture of Hindu, Buddhist and Jain temples because of the religious harmony of that period. Some of the temples inside are attributed to King Harisena of Vakataka dynasty. During Chola's period, there was spread of temple buildings during the 9th century AD. There were no Muslim attacks, and further, strong stones like granite used for construction had helped the temples stand the test of time. The Hoysaleshwara temple at Halebid is the best example of Chalukyan architecture. Administration during medieval time. In the Deccan, the local officials, called Mahajans, took part in local administration in villages and towns in Chalukya times. There existed a local autonomy in southern India. This greatly lightened the burden of the government. It fixed responsibility on the people themselves. The Pallava kings also did not interfere with their functioning. Points to remember in this essay are: in the north, breakdown of Harsha's empire led to formation of many independent regional powers. Between 3rd and 6th century, Pallavas became the most powerful kingdom in the Deccan. Land grants were given to Brahmanas and peasants were forced with increased labor and taxation. Rock-cut cave temples of Ajanta, Ellora, Elephanta are attributed to this period. Local Mahajans became the prominent officials, mirroring the prevalent self-sustained village economy of that time.